One of the earliest videos I put up on YouTube was about making 5-strand mystery braid wristbands and how to do a 5-strand mystery braid. And now that I've got better camera equipment and better lighting, I've decided I wanted to redo some of my older videos. And also, this is a prime example of why I like making videos to improve my own skills as a leather worker, is that the process of explaining it makes me think about it in a way that I have to understand it better, and I come to a better understanding of what I'm doing and why it works. And then that actually improves how I can do things as well as showing someone else how to do them. So the 5-strand mystery braid, we're going to start all the way back on a 3-strand, which I don't think I've done a video of. But I'm going to explain how these are basically all still done the same way. And I'm going to do a 3-strand, a 5-strand, and I've even got a piece cut here for a 9-strand. Now, if you think about a 3-strand braid, you divide it into 2 strands and 1 strand. So I will take that 1 strand that's by itself, I'll put it between the other 2 strands, and it now becomes the middle strand. Well, on a mystery braid, I'll take that strand that I just put between the other 2, I'll grab it all the way up here at the top, and I'll pull it through. And it'll twist up like that. Now I've got these 2 strands and this 1 strand. So now that's going to be kind of reverse to what I just did, but you can think of it as the 2 strands that are crossed and the strand that's by itself. That's usually what I'll do. So these 2 strands that are crossed, I'll take the one that's by itself, I'll cross it over top of that one. I'll take that strand, and again, just like before, I'll work all the way up to the top, and I'll pull it through. And then we still have a twist. But then the 2 strands that are crossed here, I'll take this 3rd strand and put it over top of them. I'll work my way up, and I'll pull it through. And now, all of a sudden, everything pops around, and it's all laying flat again. And we've got a 3-strand mystery braid. So the same lesson can go up to a 5-strand braid rather easily. Only instead of 2 strands and 1, now we've got 2 sets of 2 and 1 that's by itself. So those 2 sets of 2 and that one by itself is going to pull over top. And I'm going to go ahead and pull it through. Now we're going to do 2 things here before we pull one through. We're going to take this strand that's off by in this group of 3, and we're going to pull it over top to where it crosses into the middle. And then we're going to go back to this side that we started on the right here, and we're going to take that over these 2 strands. It'll cross over, it goes into the middle, and we're going to work our way up, and just like with the 3-strand braid, we're going to go all the way up to the top and pull that one through. And we're going to do the same thing again. If you look, we've got 3 strands over here, 2 strands over here. We're going to take this strand on the outside, move it to the center. And then the strand on the right, again, where we started, that's going to cross over and move to the center. And this will feel like you're really getting things messed up until all of a sudden, as you're pulling one of these strands through, it's going to work. But that'll be on our next pass. So you'll see that this strand has almost pulled itself into the center where it should be this time around. And the same with this strand. It's almost pulled itself over into the center where it should be. So all we got to do is put those in place and pull that through a little bit, because those almost fell into place all by themselves. We are now at a nice flat 5-strand mystery braid. Now 9-strand, you'd think, oh, 9-strand, that's got to be even trickier. There's all sorts of stuff going on here. It's not, you just have to do more of the same. We're going to divide it fairly evenly up. Again, we got 4 strands, 1 strand all by itself. There always has to be an odd strand in these. I guess it's technically possible to do something different, but I've always used odd strands, 3, 5, 7, 9. Actually, this was the first 9 one I did today. But 4 and 4 and 1, And we're going to take that one, we're going to put it to the center of those 4. And we're going to pull that through. And twist everything up. Then we're going to take, now we've got 5 of them over here, 4 of them over here. We're going to take this outside one of the 5. It's going to cross to the center. We're going to take, now we've got 4 of them over here, 5 of them over here. We're back on that one that we started with on that right hand side. We're going to pull it over into the center. And we're going to work our way up that strand because it came from the right hand side. We're going to go all the way up to the top and pull it through. And we're going to keep doing the exact same thing. We're going to pull the strand that's to the outside on the left to the center. The strand that's on the outside to the right to the center. And then work our way up that strand and pull it through. And this one gets really tangled up. So you got to keep them kind of straight down here. That's going to be the hardest part about this one, is trying to remember, okay, that one's next to that one, that's where they go, and keeping them all flat and straight down here. But it's going to keep doing the same thing. The one on the left to the center, the one on the right to the center. This one on the left to the center. This one on the right to the center. Now the one on the left is kind of falling into place. This one on the right is kind of falling into place. I think I just got them twisted. So let's just straighten some strands out. And let's take this stuff that we braided real tight once we've got them straightened out. And just even it up a little bit. And that is how it is exactly the same to do a 9 strand as a 5 strand as a 3 strand mystery braid. Something I didn't suspect until I tried to explain it all today. This strap was 1.5 inches wide, and it's in 1/2 inch strands. And you'll see that you lose some of that width whenever you. So this is only about 1 inch wide now instead of 1.5 inches. And the same with these, were 2 inches to start with, and they're now only about 1 inch and 1 3/8, 1.5 inches in width across this main center part. You're also going to lose some length to it, and that'll depend on the thickness of the leather that you're working with. And how many times you braid it, and so on and so forth. So it takes a little bit of experimentation. So let's see what we lost with this 5 inch, or this 5 ounce leather, the thickness of it. It was 9 inches originally, and now we're just around 8.5 inches. So it lost about 1/2 inch. Now 8.5 inches, since you're going to lose, you put snaps on these like this, you're going to lose about 1/2 inch on either side. This is only really for about a 7.5 inch wristband, which really only fits about a 7 inch wrist. So you're going to keep losing a little bit for the snaps, a little bit for wrapping around the wrist. So this is about the size that would fit my wrist. About a 7 inch wrist is just about right for me. Now, if you're going to make these and you're not sure exactly what size they're going to wind up being, you can make these ends a little bit longer and give yourself a little bit more room to move the snap in or out. Some sort of solution like that will work. Or you can even make them adjustable by having a longer stretch here. And several snaps are just several holes in a button stud or something for your clasp to put it together. While we're on that subject, this one was, if I remember, just a little over 6 inches long and is now 5 3/4. So it hasn't lost nearly as much with the 3-strand braid, but it was shorter to start with. And of course all that makes sense because now these things, instead of being straight, they curve up and back. So you're going to lose whatever it takes to go up and back. And you're also going to lose some for the thickness of it as it waves through. So there's going to be some variability depending on the width of your strap, which this wasn't as wide to start with, and the thickness of your leather. Like these lost more because of the thickness of the leather than this one did. All you need to do is set some snaps or button studs or clasps or whatever you want to do on this. You can also use this in as part of a belt if you use a thicker leather than this. You can just cut some strips in the center of a wider strap and just start braiding it. It can be used as various handles. It can be put on baskets or bags. You can braid a purse strap like this. It's just longer, which means you just go through, instead of a single cycle of the braiding that I did until it pops down flat, you just go through again and again until you fill up the area that you've cut